Mike Bichetti sitting in, and look who's just joined us, Robert Patrick.
Hey, guys.
Welcome, man. How are you?
Fantastic. It's good to be here.
Well, it's good to
see you guys.
It's good to have you here.
It's good to be anywhere.
Does that do you practice that voice, or is that
What
just?
voice? Oh, I don't know.
I mean,
my
it's just
voice
such
will
a-
go all over. I guess, yeah, it's his voice I've used before. I don't know. Hey, what's happening, Sam?
Just to be able to walk into a studio and say, "Good to be here." Like, I probably notice it more because I have, for somebody that works in this medium, have a traditionally what's known as a shitty radio voice.
You have a good voice.
You think
what are
so?
you talking about? Yeah, absolutely.
You already pick up on that?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah?
And see here, my voice is going way up here now. See, so
Oh, so you were just doing an exercise.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
dude, I can do it all. Find that Johnny Cash voice.
That's amazing.
Yeah, your voice is your instrument as an actor. You know, have you had vocal training?
No, believe it or not.
Would you consider it?
Of course.
Yeah, I think it's good. It's
What
good
kind of
to know.
vocal training have you had?
I've singing training. Vocal coaches do that. Also, people that teach you how to get down in your diaphragm down here and find your voice down here. And
Now, are you learning to sing just to learn how to better use your voice, or do you actually want to sing in some of these films or whatever?
well, I started just to enhance my acting, just
Sure.
to learn my voice a little more and learn how to use it in different ways. And I just produced a film and star in a film that is out right now. You can stream it right now. I'm very, very proud of it. It's called Last Rampage. It's a true story, true
Sure.
crime story.
I was reading about it last
the
night.
escape of Gary Tyson.
Yes.
A very, very bad man. And my brother, who is a multi-platinum recording artist, Richard Patrick, you know, he's got a band, Filter, and he was the former guitarist of
course.
Nine Inch Nails. He did the score for the movie and wrote 2 original songs and came to me after the movie was over and said, you know, I know you sang with Alejandro Escovedo in Austin, Texas. How do you like singing? And I dig it. I enjoy it, you know. He said, I want you to sing a song from the movie and let's record it. So I went in with his band and recorded my first song and have a song that's out, published
Wow.
on a soundtrack right
Do you
now.
like it?
I love it.
You like the song?
I like the song.
Yeah.
I hate to be that guy, but
I don't mind it. It's
I
refreshing. Most people come
kinda
in.
dig it.
Yeah, most people come in and they're like, "Oh, I can't watch my own stuff. I can't listen to my own stuff." And you're
I
like,
don't understand that.
You
I have
don't.
some friends that are like that.
Yeah.
And they they do the movie and I can't see. I want to see the movie once. Twice maybe. You know, 3 times maybe you're getting into it a little bit too much. But you've got to, I think personally, the way I look at it, you want to see if you're doing what you think you're doing, right?
Right.
And you also want to see where you can improve. So like my TV show Scorpion, I'll watch it once.
every episode though.
Yeah, just
Yeah, one time.
and I'm okay with it. I just want to make sure I'm on track.
You have to be disciplined to do that, though. I think you can't have that sort of insecurity in you where you're like watching yourself. It's got to be an exercise in, like you said, in improvement. Like it's got to be like, I know why I'm doing this. I'm not really worried about whether or not I have the ability to act at this point. I'm confident in that.
Yeah, no, I'm confident I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And you know, in the old days,
Yeah.
back when they filmed things and they used to screen dailies at lunch,
Uh-huh.
you know, you as an actor, you had an opportunity to, you want to sit in on the dailies and see what's going on. And I think it was useful to a lot of actors. I know there's actors that didn't do that, but
But you always did.
if I had the opportunity to go to dailies, I wanted to see if I was on track with what I thought I was trying to do.
Although you see something you're doing that you don't like, and
That's
if it's
bad.
But if it's dramatic, what are you going to change it up? And then like one scene in the movie, you're like this schlub, and the rest of it, you're great.
Well, that's where you kind of go like, you know what? Geez, if you want to reshoot that scene, maybe we should try it. You know,
Yeah.
those things kind of come up. So.
What about when you're in like a movie that is one of those movies that people do watch over and over again? T2 obviously is one that people talk about, but there have been a bunch of things that you've done that people watch over and over again. Can you take yourself out of it to the point where you're like, no, it's just one of my favorite movies? Or because you're so close to it, that doesn't happen?
Yeah. Well, I think Terminator 2 is one of the greatest films ever made.
Yeah.
In any genre. I think it's a pretty damn perfect film. And I realize that I'm commenting on myself being in that, but I mean,
And a big part of it. Like,
but they could have had somebody else come in and do it. Maybe they'd done an even better job. But I'm comfortable enough, and I don't think I'm being too much of an egomaniac to say that I'm happy with the way it turned out.
If you say something like that, though, you better be sure that people agree with you. Like, you come off like an egomaniac if you say it about a movie that's not Terminator 2, right?
Right. You've got to be pretty sure. And it's taken me 27 years to kind of work up to that. But we recently re-released the film in 3D.
Uh-huh.
And having seen it again and not having looked at it in a long time, I feel pretty comfortable saying that. I think the story is there. I think that none of the elements in that movie are there for the sake of being, effects.
Yeah.
They're there to help tell the story. And I think it's a timely thing. I'll give you, for instance, of how timely it is. Elon Musk has said that artificial intelligence is probably the biggest threat we have as a nation.
Dude, I talk about it all the time. When I see these, like, even when I see, like, hey, good news, New York State has gone cashless tolls, I go, that's how it starts.
That's how it
They start replacing jobs. You're dependent on your phone. And then all of a sudden, see, that's what I say. Like, people are like, well, what do you mean? Like, how could a machine become smarter than you? And I go, because what if Siri wasn't just learning from you? What if Siri was one thing that was learning from everybody?
Yeah.
And now this thing has learned not from one person, but from everybody. The minute you've got a machine that figures out how to make machines and is smarter than you, humans are done.
Hey, what did he just say about they were shutting down? Somebody shut down their AI part of their business. Who was it? Was it Google? Was it somebody? They shut it down because they said, "Whoa, wait a minute! They're communicating with themselves. It's for real."
Right? I read that story.
For real.
Yeah.
Okay, so
in a language that we couldn't understand.
Yeah. Whoa. So we don't even know what the hell they're doing. That's
right.
That's the movie. So. All right, I met a gal who's an engineer at SpaceX. She invited me to come see the rocket builds. So I go to SpaceX to see the rocket builds, all right?
Yeah.
So I'm walking in there. Now there's a server room, and the server room is this blue hue, kind of like the color of your walls. So, and it goes deep, right?
Yeah.
And you're walking in, and I look, and there's row after row after row after row of servers. Always just goes on and on and on. And it's this blue hue. But right in front, on the inside, I see something that looks vaguely familiar to me, and I'm looking at it, and I read it, and it says Cyberdyne Systems. Right?
Right.
That's from my movie.
Of course it is.
It was the prop from the movie that was the marker that was filmed out in front of the building that said Cyberdyne Cyberdyne Systems when they do the establishing shot cut to. And I say to her, and she looks at me, and she goes, "Oh, yeah, he's a fan."
Wow. It's happening, dude. It's happening. It's just it's happening.
But you seem so okay with that.
Well, no, I'm not okay with it. I'm furious about it.
I'm scared crapless because I went over the Verrazano Bridge for the first time.
Yeah.
And there was
no
like,
tolls.
It was like these huge it's like, what the hell is this
And then
shit?
I was literally
living life out of
I was thinking about it this morning because I go past one of these bridges, right? And the sign says everything in New York State is cashless tolls, right? I'm going back to the cashless tolls again. But the sign says if you have an Easy Pass, it's like $2.34. If you don't have an Easy Pass, we'll send you a bill for $6. And I go, they are that invested in making sure that every vehicle has an Easy Pass.
Yeah, they want you on that program.
Yes.
They want you on that program. Well, that's what's kind of going on in California. They want us out of our cars.
Right.
They want us now to continue building the metro and developing a public transportation system, i.e. what you guys have here.
Right.
They want us there. They want to get us out of our cars. Why?
Well, they would say to diminish traffic, right?
I don't know where I'm going with this conversation, but I'll tell you what, it's kind of like, well, what is your car? Your car is personal freedom, is it not?
Of course. I love
so
driving.
Are they trying to take my personal freedom away?
No. They are, in a way.
I think that's why I don't like those self-driving cars. They drive me crazy.
Who in their right mind is going to give up the fun of driving your own car?
Yeah, and then to be like to the machine, you got this.
No, park it. You
got it.
Park
yeah,
it for
no
me
problem.
I'm gonna relax on this when you take over. No, you do the parallel park.
I test drove one of those cars that self-parallel parks. It is the creepiest, oddest thing, and it just feels like submitting. I know it's these little steps, but that's how it starts. The little steps.
You're right.
And you're just submitting because they're like, no. Don't worry, your phone's going to make everything easier. Don't worry, you don't have to worry about parallel parking anymore. Like, this is just easy stuff. And then it's like, also, they're going to cook your food for you.
Let us do that for you. Now, come lie in this chamber and slowly we'll put you to sleep forever.
Exactly. How about this one? Now the new gimmick. It's Mike.
I love this
I'm
guy.
so sorry.
No. That was good, right?
The new gimmick is.
I love him.
Wow, he loves you.
Can he come with me anywhere? All
Yeah,
right.
Mike.
No, because I'm listening to your stuff. I love it. All the stuff you're talking about is so it scares the life out of me. Like when I seen Skype, I'm like, what am I, Judy Jetson? This is nonsense. You know what I mean?
I wasn't going to go there with Skype, but I guess. Yeah, I guess Skype is part of the problem too.
I think it might be.
Might be. But
I'm afraid of that. You know.
How about this gimmick?
Who's really watching me?
Wait till you hear this one, because I figured this whole thing out.
Okay, this is good.
So in New York, they're all about protesting for minimum wage, right? Everybody's protesting to get the minimum wage increase. And I'm trying to tell these people, what are you guys thinking with these protests? Because I'm watching it happen. They protest the fast food restaurants to increase minimum wage as if, like, you know, we're supposed to be making a living. And they're appealing to the humanitarian and everyone that's like, well, of course they should make a livable wage. So you know what McDonald's does? They go, okay, no problem. We'll increase the minimum wage. 2 months later, they start testing out the new iPad ordering systems where there's no servers.
Whoa. Wow.
That's what they do. All right, no problem.
You know what? I did not know about this, but that is interesting.
Yes.
Because if we do start demanding certain things, I mean, I don't know, you know, what it costs to run a McDonald's. I don't know how it is, but I'm sure that, you know, the equation that works out, the people you're paying have to make X amount of money.
Right.
Or the business model doesn't work.
Right.
And if you come in there and say, you know what, we demand more money, and the cost of doing business goes up, well, you know, then they're at a choice of what are we going to do? We got to save money somewhere.
We're literally at the point where we have to calculate what is our value as a human being.
Right.
What is the economic value to a company to hire a human as opposed to a machine? And if I ask for higher than that value, they're going to go for machine.
They're going to go for a machine, and I become obsolete. Then what am I going to do?
Right. Exactly.
What do I do now? What's my new special? You know, what do I specialize in? What do I have? What's my talent to offer?
What makes me unique?
That's
Mike,
scary.
what do we do?
That's scary, Mike.
What do we do, Mike?
Just try to gain control back again. I mean, it's like you know, like the McDonald's thing.
Yeah.
McDonald's will be throwing iPads in the dumpster after this. You know what I mean? They don't care about anything.
Why would they throw the iPads out?
Corporate America is brutal. They don't care about people.
So they're even going to be mean to the machines.
Of course, they'll be throwing them out when they're done with it.
Right.
We're not going to recharge you.
Hey,
No, sure, think of it.
that iPad has a family.
When your battery fails, you fail.
Oh my God! You know what I like? I was talking about you that you've never. I feel like you're not as precious as a lot of actors are, and I get that from you when we talk about like watching your stuff and like that you can watch it back and do it as a craft. I also like, in hindsight, people when they get a role like you got in Terminator, they'll sometimes start to try to get away from it and try to not acknowledge it and be like, well, I don't want to be this guy. I don't want to be typecast. But you realize like this is only a good thing.
Yeah.
Like not that you overdid it and said, "Hey, I'm the Terminator guy," because you've done
Wayne's World.
But you did the Wayne's World thing,
right.
and a lot of people wouldn't have done that. And I thought it was a brilliant thing.
And I ended up doing it again for Arnold in Last Action Hero.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is, and I've had this discussion with my wife and friends. You know, I was an unknown when I got that role, which benefited the role because you didn't have a preconceived notion of who I was. Mm-hmm. So you accept me as that character. The character itself is much more famous than I ever was. Mm-hmm. I did find myself in a position where once it was over, I didn't work for a year and a half. Mm-hmm. I couldn't get a job in Hollywood.
Wow.
And the reason was, I think, is every time I walked in a room, I still looked like that thing.
Sure.
So it dawned on me, perhaps I should change the way I look. So I gained some weight. I grew my hair long. I grew a beard. And lo and behold, I did get cast in Fire in the Sky.
Yeah.
Which is an alien movie. It is a little bit of that Terminator world in a weird way. But it was a very real guy.
It's a true story.
And a true story. And
you're not playing the alien. It's a dramatic.
It's a dramatic role, and that sort of changed things for me. The director didn't even realize I was the same actor, so he was casting me on my abilities, and so in a weird way, it was like I'm totally comfortable making fun of that character, mm-hmm. but in the same respect, I had to be leery of. I don't want to be typecast that way. And some of the things that were being offered to me at the time were a robot or something similar. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I mean, I was even having people offering me commercials to do.
Then it gets to the point where you're not having fun with it. You're just trying to be that role forever.
I don't want to. That's not me. I'm a serious actor, and I want to do different things. So really, that's what I've been doing for the last 27, 28, 29 years, is trying to do as many different varied roles as I can to create the body of work that I have right now. And it's been great.
And I feel like you never know exactly what's going to hit. Like for me, every time I think about you, I think of that. I think it was like a 3-episode arc on The Sopranos.
It was a pivotal point in my career.
I mean, it was such a strong thing, because I brought that up probably a month ago when we were talking about gambling on the show, just because like you just watched this guy who was like just this absolutely relatable dad who owned a store, who was just America.
Oh, sporting goods guy?
Yes.
Yeah, I was David
That was
Scatino.
awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
I love that episode.
I love it.
I binge watched The Sopranos.
Thank
that was
you.
a great episode. I'm like,
But then to watch
holy
everything-
shit, Tony was such a maniac. I'm like, and he was.
But
was
Tony
great.
even had sympathy for him on some level.
He
Like,
didn't want me to do it. I mean, we were old high school buddies. But it's interesting what you were saying was, there was a pivotal point in my career where I was still trying to prove to people, like, again, it's like if you heard the name, it's that guy from, I don't know if he'd be right for this role, because they now have a conception, a concept of what they think I am as an actor without, seeing me doing something else, right? It's such a strong, iconic kind of a character that I played. So when that was offered to me, I had another movie on the line that somebody was offering me to do, and for a great sum of money, or go do this movie for HBO for pretty much scale.
Yeah.
And my acting coach and I agreed that it would be the best thing for me to do would be the David Scatino on The Sopranos, because everybody in Hollywood watched it. And if you go knock it out of the ballpark. And David Chase had given me a great gift. He said, Robert, no one would cast you this way. You are a pathetic gambler. You're going to get bitch slapped around by Tony Soprano. You cry like a baby. No one's going to cast you this way.
Yes.
And he was right.
But it was great, dude.
He was right.
And you related to it because those are things that because you relate to the Sopranos characters in a way, like when they start getting into their families and stuff, but the whole mafia element is so outside the realm of what could possibly happen to me as the average dude.
Right.
But you and
this is how an average dude stumbles into that world and gets sucked up into all that bravado from that machismo that goes on with that. And if you get in debt to me, all of a sudden things get real.
Right. And he was my friend though, and he's like,
man,
but this
Tony,
is
man, hey, let's go get a schwitz, go get a schwitz. What are you talking? You owe me $50,000 for ziti.
I felt bad when he took your son's car. I was like,
he takes my son's car. Yeah, he takes
gives it
my
to Meadow.
I was like,
what about my favorite? My favorite thing was when in the episode 2, right? This is what I love about this character, and I've only watched this once, but I remember when they got me up on the pool table. Do you remember this?
I'm trying to remember.
And then my wife comes down, and I'm trying to kill myself up there.
Fuck
and she finds me on the pool table. I'm fixing the fucking light on the pool table.
Yeah, no, you can.
I forgot where I was for a second. It glares off the 8-ball when I'm trying to, when I'm trying to break it.
Just failing at that
crazy
too.
Shit.
I mean, to me, the scumbag move of just pretending that you're mad at your son so you can give your car to him. What a piece.
I was pissed at Tony with that fucking piece of garbage got his car now.
Yeah.
It's like,
well,
that kid went on to the young man that played my son was one of my characters, my side characters when I was in Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah,
I showed
another amazing show, by the way.
That show's still on now. I haven't seen it.
Sons of Anarchy.
They're doing they're doing the pilot right now for Mayans, which is the spinoff of Sons of Anarchy.
Katie
Are you
Seagal, I love.
You gonna be involved in Mayans? Oh, I love that. I hope so.
CBS Scorpion Monday nights.
Yes, Monday nights, of course.
10 o'clock. Lore Comes out Friday the 13th.
Well,
Last Rampage is available video on demand right now. I produced it. It's the darkest. I really want to say something about Last Rampage, if you don't mind.
We're about a minute left in the show.
It's a great movie. It's one of I really want people to see this. And my brother did do the score, and there is a song from me to you, to all of you.